Well,
Welcome to the Wee Dramcast.
Wee Dramcast.
Sorry, yes.
Excellent. Well, welcome. And I'm Gordy.
I'm Johnny.
Excellent. And this is a companion to the YouTube channel that we do. And we do, a 6 to 8 minute video. And then afterwards we get together and we have a conversation about our experience drinking a particular whiskey.
And it's a chance where I get to taste it.
That's right.
Kind of for the first time, sometimes, not always.
Yeah. Sometimes we've had it before.
Yeah.
And then what happens later in the podcast?
Well, then we go into little segments here and there. And,
Okay.
And we review the scotch, we compare it.
Yes.
Then we go sort of off the map a little bit and we go to our quote of the night. Quote of the night.
Quote of the night.
And then we end with the next week's or the next fortnight's scotch.
We're introducing where we're going.
Yeah.
So that's the format.
Yeah. That's the format.
Okay. Well, we probably should have told you this a number of podcasts ago.
Yeah, it's maybe a little late.
We're evolving. I think we always come back to that. This project is an evolutionary project. And we learn as we go, and the feedback that we get from people who are interested in this project is invaluable because it allows us to figure some things out and make us a better product that everyone can enjoy a little more. Product being this project that we love.
Yeah.
So why don't we get
All
to
right,
it? What are
let's
we
get to
drinking tonight, Jonathan?
Oh, we're following up here with, well, not following up, but we're getting into the Laphroaig. Not everybody's, but everybody at the Wee Dram anyway, the two of us.
Yes.
Our favorite, one of our favorite
One
names.
of our favorites.
One of our favorite names all time. And it's the 4 Oak.
So when you see the white Laphroaig cylinder show up, what kind of emotions occur for you?
They're deep-seated in like the past. It's a historical connection that I can make. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm automatically going to, I'm excited to try it because I think it's already going to be good.
Right.
It's whatever they do, they haven't really done too many
Duds.
Too many duds that I've tasted. In fact, how many have we had? Can we, I mean, I may
Quarter
have had
cask,
quarter
10.
cask, the 10.
You've had the lower.
Select.
The select
I've tried
is
the
in
lower.
the rotation.
I've tried the cask strength 10.
Yeah, cask strength 10. The 4 Oak. Yeah, have you ever tried the, what's the green bottle? That
all
one.
green.
Is it a distillery? No. The one that has a green cylinder. I think it's a distiller's edition.
Oh,
and
I've never had that.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to try that.
I've seen that around, and
Yeah.
it's just expensive,
Yeah,
right?
So was the 15.
Yeah.
Which you don't see too much anymore.
No.
But we did try that, I believe, way back in the day. We did have
I
one
think
of
so.
those.
Yeah, I
and
think
there's
so.
an 18 out there too that I've tried.
Right. I've heard about the Laphroaig 18.
Yeah.
Again, you're probably paying a pretty penny for that.
Yeah.
So that is why we aren't having all those whiskeys all the time. But
No.
we do have the 4 Oak here. And as mentioned in the video, it is a travel expression whiskey that arrived from Beijing. And we paid a duty-free price of somewhere in the range of $70 to $80 all in for this.
Which is pretty good.
For a
it's
liter.
Easy to try at that price.
No, at that price,
You gotta
for
do
a
it.
liter, when you get the extra 25% bonus, you're almost foolish not to get it.
I think so.
Because it just puts a lot of single malt whiskey on your bar that you can share and drink if you don't think it's absolutely top notch.
Yeah.
So it's still a real value, I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't really go wrong with that name, like we said. So if you got an opportunity to try one of their new or ones that you've never had
an expression.
at a reasonable price, with
Totally.
something you could pay for something else,
You're going for it.
you're going to do it. It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, just a quick question before we get it, and let's start a little nosing now.
Sure. Yeah, I'll start into
And just
that. What's
get
your
into,
question?
I would like to know, because I've seen a lot of different sites and I've read a lot of blogs, and it's a really high number of people that were turned on to single malt whiskey experience through drinking Laphroaig 10. It's
True
like
for us.
Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
without Laphroaig 10, without that, I'm sure another whiskey could have got me there, but that's the one that got me there. That's the one that took me from being somebody who was fairly passive and interested to someone who was extremely passionate and completely focused on like what I was doing, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
It is, but it's true because we've got you, in our what we like it worked to like kind of a detriment to us because we tried something that was super powerful. I mean, that's what the Laphroaig 10 is. It's all flavor.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
And it's
a huge explosion.
So, yes, it's exactly. It's such an explosion.
Massive interruption to your life.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to either like it or you're not going to like it.
That's right.
And
It's
so,
divisive.
Yeah, because nothing else tastes like that.
That's right.
Nothing else tastes like Laphroaig 10. Nothing. That's why it's a 5.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully.
It
We haven't
will
done
be
it
a
yet.
5.
It will.
It's a 5 in our
likely.
mind. So
Yeah,
what has to happen is the night that you get there, something has to go awry
Yeah.
for it not to be a 5. Right?
Yeah, maybe it's a stinky bottle. Who knows? I've never had that though. I've never had
knock
wine,
on-
yes, but
knock
not.
on, knock on the wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but okay. Well,
Okay.
it's
So where are we at here?
well, it smells quite powerful to me.
See,
It's got a big smell, and it's not just strong.
No. It's not a medicinal.
No.
And it's not unpleasant.
No,
in
it's-
any way, right? It's got some strength, but it's very inviting if you like your woods and your oaks and your.
And your Laphroaig, because
yeah.
it smells like Laphroaig to
It's
me.
got the
Really
it's got
does.
the peat
right?
smoke.
Yeah. There's nothing.
You can smell around the peat smoke to find the wood,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely a part of the bouquet.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because when I had it earlier, and this is one of the things about uncorking a bottle and having it immediately, is that this is super challenging initial dram to try to take on, because you've got no oxidization. Like even this bottle has had a chance to sit for maybe 90 minutes since it's been corked. You know,
Right.
and that's something, right? It's not, it's not the same as 6 months but it's something. And I wonder how much it's even changed since we drank it, or I drank it. About
Just a
an
couple.
hour, maybe
Yeah.
an
Well,
hour ago,
yeah.
right?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, you never. The other thing, it does have a very nice oak for me. It does. You can find that wood, and the wood is very pleasant.
Yes.
I like wood.
I do
I
too.
like the wood smell.
I
There's
do
nothing
too.
wrong with
No.
that. Anything that, if it claims to have wood and it smells like wood, it's good.
Do you know did you ever go to your grandparents' house and open up like a cigar or a cigarette box in the living room? Like an older piece of furniture or piece
Yeah.
of whatever, but it wasn't really being used for cigarettes. It was just still there because it was silver and nice or whatever.
Right.
And
Kind of
there
that-
was an inlaid wood
Yeah.
that had
Cedar
toasty, crispy, toasty wood that had but it kind of has.
Yeah.
There's something in this nose that brings me to that cigarette box in my grandparents' living room. You know what I mean?
It's very nostalgic.
Yes.
And the other thing I was going to note was the fact that it smells really strong, but it's only 40%.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
know.
kind of curious. I don't like the 40% as much like you.
And it plays out like when you tip it around your glass, it's moving very quickly like water.
Yeah, I guess
It's
a
not
little
slow
more.
and together. It's like jumpy, and it did have some legs, but it wasn't like gooey or anything. It was like,
Yeah.
and that's where. And then I think you'll notice too when you taste it, it's just like, well, it can only go so far because it's limited by its alcohol by volume to some degree.
Don't tell me what I'm going to taste, okay?
Of course. Of course, I'm not going to tell. But I'm just already
No, I know.
anticipating like how
Yeah.
40% plays out throughout the experience.
Well, I
right?
wonder what 43 tastes like with the
Well,
same expression.
And it's just isn't it 43% for the Laphroaig 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
So-
you get it in a 1 liter bottle and then
Right.
it comes down to 40.
Is that for real?
Well, it is for real, and it's sort of a cheap out because, look, all you're doing is putting more water in it. We're not really getting a
No,
better value.
I can put my own water in.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
right. And I don't prefer to do that, so
Yeah.
I just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Charge a little more and leave it at 43.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this.
Okay, let's get it going.
We're going to give this one a shot.
Excellent. I am too. Shooter.
Thanks for that.
Good on the finish, eh? It pops up at the end.
It's not bad all around.
Yeah, I find it doesn't lead up into much, but I really
No.
like how it's like, and when I say finish, it's just like a spike as I'm drinking it. When I'm literally letting it leave my tongue and go down my throat, I have a moment where it kind of spikes up and it's like, whoa, where are we going here? And then it just, it's gone. It doesn't linger.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't
you
have
know?
any lasting
So it gets
power.
all exciting there. It's like, oh, okay, it sneaks me in the front door. There's not much on the very first taste. As it slides past the middle of the tongue, it starts to liven up and create some energy, and then it begins to really flourish and go nuts, and then it's just like,
Yeah,
you know?
that's accurate.
Yeah.
You are telling me what I'm going to taste. And you're right.
I've been thinking about it for 90 minutes now, or I'm ahead of you. You know, it just gives me an advantage.
It is a little disappointing that way, but it isn't, and it is. We like the strong ones that stay with you for a while, but it does have something right up front. The wood shows through, the classic Laphroaig flavor is there. It's still appealing, like it's still a good drink for me. And at that price, I guess it's okay. The 40 is still...
If you're getting it for $80 or
Yeah.
$70 for a liter, it's a great whiskey. It's a 4-star whiskey.
And if all you wanted to have on your bar was Laphroaig.
Yeah, and the problem with it is, honestly, if you could come home for $70 and bring that back to your home and just drive up to the liquor store and bring that home, that's a 4-star whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
But you can't get it here, and you have to fly it in, and apparently it's expensive if you do get it in, which again, I don't have enough data to confirm, unfortunately. But anyway, you can't go out and buy it. It's not accessible. And it could very well be very expensive, and that's why it drives it, I think, down to a 3.
I could be mistaken. I was checking this out the other day just because, the little Laphroaig tag, the one I grabbed from this one. And I think this may be discontinued.
What? Really?
I think I saw
that changes. Maybe we shouldn't have opened both bottles. We should have put one away.
But there may be a reason for that.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Well, yeah, it's a 3-star whiskey.
Yeah.
They don't like making 3-star whiskeys. They prefer making 4-star whiskeys. That's why they're getting rid of the 4 oak. It never got there.
But it is different from a regular Laphroaig.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. I like the way they veered off a little bit, keeping the same bass tones for everything, and then going in a little different direction. The oak works very well with the Laphroaig.
I do like. There is one note in this whiskey that is. It's got something really quite unique and beautiful, for sure. And again, it goes back to that comment about going into your grandparents' wood box or whatever and finding that toasty, dry cedar inlaid within metal. Like, it's a very interesting flavor, right? So I give it that, and I give it, it definitely gets a nod of uniqueness for that. But it's got a nice nose, and it's got an exciting moment. Those are its very strongest characteristics, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. It's a decent dram.
A decent dram.
If you didn't have the 10, that would be probably a lot better.
Well, imagine that.
It's kind of mean.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's like saying, if we took it into Speyside, you know, what? And that's not dissing Speyside.
No.
Let's be very clear. It just means just take it
Should've went
into
with the lowlands.
Yeah, take it into a place where it's there's more sort of characteristics that are, and you introduce something different. Now suddenly you've got a player.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, because Speyside lovers are very sensitive about their Speyside whiskeys, and so they should be. Just like Isla lovers are sensitive about their whiskeys. People have their preferences.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to jump on Speyside, because I would love to put a backpack on and go up and down the hills of Speyside and stay at different distilleries and spend a week of my life hiking on my feet through that country. I want to do that, So anyway.
Yeah, it could be this. One of the first whiskeys the Speyside lovers tried was, I don't know, something in Speyside. There's so many to choose from there, and maybe they've got that flavor in their mind, thinking,
it's
this
locked
is
in.
Yeah, it's like, this is what I really like. This is a really good single malt, and they are, but they're not quite as big as this one.
True that. Anyhow, let's not compare whiskeys from Speyside, unless, of course, we can find a Speyside that could be interesting to do with the Laphroaig 4 Oak. Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
For comparison scotch?
Yeah,
I can. I have one.
I already have one.
I have one only.
I have one. Hopefully it's the same one, eh?
I don't know. I think it probably will be.
Okay.
Okay.
Who goes first?
Did we say it together the last time? See
Okay,
how wrong we are? We count it down from 3?
Do you say the name of it plus the expression?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of a dead giveaway.
Well,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I just want to set myself up for success.
I know. Who doesn't?
I didn't want to have a colossal. We still might. Who knows? Tension's building.
We might.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Laphroaig Select.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
We need cheers on that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There it is. Yeah,
There it is.
I know. I was thinking that earlier, and I didn't want to bring it up because that was going to be my comparison. Like, it's got to go up against.
It's
the
got to go
Select
up against the Select. Why?
because the Select is cheaper, and
Yes.
we really enjoyed it.
Yes.
For a substitute for the 10.
Yeah, it got 4 stars.
Yeah,
It got 4 stars.
It's a good whiskey.
The 10 got 5 stars. Is in our imaginations. Well, hold on. We did review it, didn't we?
The Select?
No, the Laphroaig 10. We actually
That
did
was the
one.
first one, yeah,
Yeah,
but we couldn't
did
use it.
that, but we just
Copyright
never used
issues.
it. And I don't think we ever did. We come up with a. Did we ever put it down on video that we said it was 5 stars?
Wait, the Laphroaig Select or the 10?
No, the 10. When we did the 10 that never got used.
I don't think we had a rating system.
Yeah, we
back
didn't
then.
get. I know. I don't think we went there, did we? Interesting, eh? So we
Yeah.
have no record of it,
No, that's good.
other than we
Yeah.
love it, and we just basically, we're massively supportive of Laphroaig 10.
Yeah.
Anyhow, okay, so that puts us in
that's
a good
good.
position.
Comparison. Scotch.
Oh, it's just nice to see 2 Laphroaigs sitting on the counter
2 white
on the
cylinders.
fireplaces. Yeah.
Yeah,
One's a little smaller.
one's a one's a normal bottle of Laphroaig Select, and we're gonna put it up against the 4 Oak.
Well, they're both 40.
40%.
Both 40%.
So that's comparable.
yeah.
What do you remember about the Select?
I remember it's sort of the poor man's version of the 10.
Is it a Laphroaig 10 light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I kind of felt the same way.
And I wonder if that's due to the 40. I mean, can they just do that and just cut it back and say, oh, we're going to call it something different because they're watering it down?
Yeah, I wonder how they actually create the Select.
Yeah.
Like, what is the Select? What casks are being tapped and blended to create that,
Mm-hmm.
Are they younger? Maybe they're older. Geez, who knows? Because sometimes the younger ones are more explosive.
Well,
Maybe it's just as simple as you're saying. You just put more water in it.
I hate to think that, but
Well, they don't charge as much.
yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
but it's not really a new expression.
No, that's true. I doubt that this is just watered down Laphroaig 10, because actually it doesn't taste like that. It tastes different than that. So
Let's give it a shot. But we don't have the 10 to compare it to, but we'll.
no, the 10's
This is good
10's
enough.
probably not coming into the game tonight.
No.
A triple Laphroaig night though, that would be something. Eh?
Yeah, one night special edition.
It's healthy still, hey?
Oh,
Over
yeah.
half a bottle left.
Well, it's good. So this should be really good drinking right now.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit. It should be primed in terms of oxidization if it affects the Select, but might mellow it down a bit. We've been through some Select though lately, so
All right.
all right. On the nose,
Oh, on the nose is a lot different.
milder,
Yeah, it's sweeter.
sweeter. Good point. Milder and sweeter. Do you like it? Do you like the nose?
I almost like the other nose better.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, okay, before we get too deep into this, if you were going to predict, which one do you think is going to be better?
I think this will be better.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think the Select has more going on than the 4 Oak. I think it was a more complete whiskey.
I was going to go with the 4 Oak.
Really?
Yeah.
4
We'll
Oak
see.
definitely has a explosive uniqueness with its one characteristic, and it carries from the nose through to the taste.
And it's different, right?
It's
gotta
definitely
count for
different.
something.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
the fact that it's a different Laphroaig. Like if we are correct and this is just watered down to,
Which I don't think that's
I
true.
don't think it is either.
Because right off the nose, you're smearing, I don't know where that sweetness comes from, but you don't get sweetness in the 10. I mean, if you added water to it, you're
That's
not
true.
suddenly going to find sweetness,
Yeah.
right?
Well, maybe you are. Doesn't it open it up? I mean, I'm not a water fan, but I hear it does open it up quite a bit.
True, but does it sweeten it up?
I think it might. I think that's one of the characteristics of adding water.
Well,
I could be wrong.
let's keep
I'm
that
wrong
one.
all the time.
Easy to get into though, eh? You can really get your nostrils into that. There's no holding you back from taking a deep snort of that,
No. Do you smell any Laphroaig remnants there?
Yeah.
Though? Do you?
I definitely have peat. I definitely have
Yeah,
some
maybe
wood.
peat. But not like Laphroaig where you're just consumed with that.
No, the smoke doesn't enter up into the higher portions of your cranium through your nose like it does with the 10. This is definitely more of a you can take it on with your nose, and there's the 10 you can't just like drive your face into it and just take her on. I mean, you can
right
but
away.
You're gonna pay for it.
You have to get through that beating.
Beat.
But it's a good beating.
It's a beating that's well worth it.
All these
It's
descriptive words we talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
Laphroaig are they sound negative, but they're positive.
No,
so.
it's like a masseuse with large hands. Eventually it gets good. Maybe when you're walking out of there, but eventually it gets good.
All right, let's give her.
Okay. And one more time. Oh,
It's
love
going
you.
down.
It's going down. Ready?
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Wow. Okay, I've got a few things.
Go.
Right away, it doesn't have the spiking characteristics of the four oak. It doesn't have that moment where things get really intense and like it really gets you almost nervous. Like, where are we going here? Like, and that's a really good thing about the four oak. This is a more mellow experience. It's a smokier experience, sort of like smoke in a room. Whereas you drink it down, it sort of envelops you in a sort of soft, smoky way around you and extends a little deeper into the finish. But it's not like, it's definitely a mellower, more full encompassing experience than the four oak. And I like it. It's sweeter, it's sort of, and it has a nicer, more complex, sort of more built up finish to it.
Would I prefer to drink? Although I got to go back to the other one, but I guess you're right. I might have to
Really
side
enjoying
with you.
the finish on this and really enjoying the levels that occur.
It's way more classic.
It has more
Laphroaig.
going on. It has it's not a two, there's the nose and the four oak has a spiky thing. Like it's like two little things. And one, like we got the wood coming on the nose and it's really nice and pleasant. And I think the four oak actually wins on the nose. But as you go to the taste, the four oak actually is better than this whiskey in one moment only, whereas the select has many moments. It has at least 3 or 4 phases going on that kind of mix together and keep you on your toes a little bit and keep you engaged. Like I find the four oak is a quick trick. It's bam bam, it's happening. Okay, there it is, and now it's gone. Whereas
This one staying.
yeah,
with you.
this has a little more
Smoke and
fullness.
peat. It's all smoke
yeah,
and peat.
Yeah, and it comes up slowly and softly. It's not flying
Dang it.
through the furnace.
You're right.
No.
It's a more pleasant drink.
Difference between a 4-star and a 3-star whiskey right there. Those moments of complexity. Moments of complexity. If you can't identify multiple moments when you're drinking a dram, it means that you have something that could be quite nice and sort of interesting, but it's not going to hold your attention for a lifetime. It's not going to keep you coming back for more and more and more. You're going to be like, oh yeah, this is why I like this one. And then you'll be like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. Or I'll serve it to people who want to have a smoky idly experience, but you don't want to waste your 10 on them or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Where you're like, okay, I'll crack out a little Isla for you, but
It's this one.
yeah, is that or the Bowmore or the I'll serve those ones to you.
Yeah, it might be a good introduction to the big heavies.
Yeah, maybe. I think the select would be a better introduction.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I meant the select.
Yeah, it would
for
be.
a-
That's a great stepping
for
stone whiskey.
yeah, you're like, here's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
big flavor, but it's
but
contained
Yeah,
and
it's not gonna.
you
it's not taking you off the seat
Yeah.
and slamming you around in the corner and kicking you and then putting you back on the seat and making you feel like you're a hero because you survived. That's what the
right.
big ones do.
like the big-handed masseuse
Yeah.
never actually getting better. It's just
Yeah.
all pain.
Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's just if you get to the point where you can handle that pain, you I don't know, you're into it. And pain is very misleading.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, like I said, they're strong words to describe them, but
we're just being metaphorical
Yeah.
here. It's not a pain at all. It's extremely enjoyable. It's just a demanding and intense experience, and that's
well, just go for the 4 oak, just for the nose.
Yes, no, and
just
I
real
love
quick.
bringing us back to our last podcast. One of the things that we enjoyed so much last week was double fisting the whiskeys and really drinking them alongside one another and allowing them to complement and draw out various things just through their experience. So I'm 100% into doing this again,
Yeah, it's
I
a
really-
good way to go. I don't know if you can do it any other way. If you really want to try to dissect and get into it, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
going back to the 4 oak right now, just on the nose, it's a completely different smell.
Yes.
It smells sweeter to me
No,
all
it's-
around, which is funny
You're
because
picking up more sweetness now that you've had some select?
yeah,
Yeah.
the 4 oak it's more vanilla-y on the nose. It's all
I did pick up some vanilla in the initial, and it had a creamy toffee tasting that I enjoyed in the first video. I remember that on the
Tasting or just nose?
No. When you go from the nose pretty much gets hung up in that wood oak thing, and then as you drink it, the very first moments like are kind of vanilla, toffee, caramel sort of cream, and then it gets spiky, and then it kind of But I know there is a sweet, and that maybe by drinking the Select, you can draw that sweetness into play more, right? That's a
possibly.
really I think that's what's happening.
It's not a bad nose though. Like,
do you mind pulling that bottle out? Let's have a little more of that.
All right.
I wouldn't mind.
Well, while we're pouring, I did want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're drinking both NASs,
Right.
so does NAS mean always that it's a younger whiskey?
I would say, on average, yes, but not necessarily. Like I think you're going to get.
Wouldn't it always mean that? Because isn't that kind of their way of saying, well, we're kind of hiding the fact that we're not, we're not putting it out as a big, we're not putting a big number on it, so we're calling it something else, and we're just putting out whiskey quicker.
Yeah, I think that's the general thrust behind the majority of the NAS expressions. I think there are some exceptions, though. I think there's definitely some people doing some.
Can you think of an exception?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Talisker 57's got to be something.
Yeah, but
because there's no age statement on that whiskey. But yeah,
but it is really strong. But aren't
whiskey.
Younger whiskeys generally stronger?
They can be. So that might be a younger whiskey thing. But you're paying a lot for that. So it tends to make me believe the lore in the 57 might have
the lore too.
Other expressions. I mean, and in my defense, like way back when we did the Select originally, I shot the Select above the 10 because I assumed NAS whiskeys were more expensive than age expressed, because I just didn't know. And the only ones that I had any experience with were like the lore in the 57, or those are the ones I was hearing about, and they're NAS, and they're expensive, and they're cool looking, and they're exciting.
And there's so many more of them.
Yeah, but so that's when I was getting back into drinking whiskeys, and I hadn't really grasped the whole NAS scene, and I still haven't. I'm still trying to figure it out because it's intentionally confusing because the big distilleries don't want us knowing anything. They want us believing in the mythology.
It's a bit shame though. It's got to be.
I think it's a big sales pitch, and
it's just a marketing thing. Let's just pump out as much as we can and see what sticks.
And some of them are going to be really wicked,
and
those ones will stick around forever, and the rest of them will just be a bunch of gimmicks that these guys will shell out for. And it pisses me off on a certain level, but at the same time, I really encourage the creative license, and I want people to take risks and do cool things. I just want them to also respect the consumer, like you and I, like people like us who don't have a lot of money, but still spend a fair amount of our income on whiskey because we love it so much.
Well,
so take care of us, don't screw us. And I think we're getting smarter and smarter about doing research and not making bad decisions, and trying carefully to avoid some of the pitfalls of the NAS whiskeys, while still capitalizing on some of the good ones. I mean, at the end of the day, like the Talisker Storm, which I know some people really don't enjoy. Like, there's an example I think of an NAS whiskey where they do something really cool with it, and so I support the Talisker Storm.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I like that they give us a bit of a deal on the price, and you come up with something really cool.
Talisker Storm to me is the Talisker without as much effort and care put in. I mean, that sounds bad, but as much effort making the final product. It's the same thing as the Talisker coming out, but it's got less love going into it, and they're putting it out a little quicker. It's very much, to me, the best comparison is the Talisker 10 is the Storm as the Laphroaig is to the Select. It's a lesser version of the really good one.
Right.
And it still has a lot of those characteristics and essence. Still a really enjoyable Scotch.
Yeah, but definitely not
the same.
Not bringing every moment and every movement and every dynamic.
So in those ones, I would say they probably are younger.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm drinking this now, and I think. I think you're right. I think the nose
between them. When you drink them quickly together, they kind of almost blend themselves into one another?
A little bit. There is, now that I'm smelling this one, it's a little bit more peaty.
I know. Which, the
Is it? Maybe it's the wood. But you know what?
Hold on,
The peatiness.
that one. You're drinking the 4 Oak.
Yeah, that's the 4 Oak.
Okay, good. Okay.
It's smelling a little more peaty to me. You know, it's kind of like that. We had campfires
Yeah.
is a term used to describe Laphroaig 10. And this is sort of like the campfire that is not fully going yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the wood. It's still got the wood in it. The wood is not yet completely engulfed in flames. So it's a lesser. You're still smelling the wood untreated.
You know what?
Like,
How about this?
unburned.
How about this? You had the campfire.
Yeah.
And someone put it out.
And you think that's what the 4 Oak is?
Maybe a little bit.
I
Where
think
it's-
that charcoal adds. It's the charcoaly flavor that Laphroaig 10 has. So that would, for
maybe
me,
you
that
put
would
it
be
out
the
with
one.
a bunch of seawater, and it's just sitting there.
Really gonna hold on to that one. Eh? Okay, that's
No,
fine.
No, I'm not going to hold on to it forever. I'm just,
No, I
I'm
get
just
it.
challenging you to kind of think of it as a sort of like wetter wood, or like a wood that's been brought down a little bit, or a wood that's been sitting around. Brings me back to the grandparents'
Yep.
cigar box.
But
feel.
that wood would be a wood that you would find maybe sitting in a lumber yard.
Uh-huh,
You know, it's
okay.
been maybe slightly treated.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah,
cut
okay.
through. You're still smelling a little bit of
Yeah.
the sawdust. You know, it's very much wood. It's
That's
not
true.
burnt wood.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm good with that. And
I'm
it's
really
not a
trying
young-
to
and I
convince
don't-
you on my opinion now.
I'm good with it in the sense that it's not a young wood. It's not like
No.
it's not like drinking that American oak, like where it's all like just cracking out type thing. You know, it doesn't really
Like
seem
you're
that
eating
way.
a chunk of IKEA furniture.
Yeah, and I actually
Pine.
I like some of that, like that Auchentoshan American
Yeah,
oak.
no, I do too.
You know, it's like
I didn't-
fresh, springy, You
Surprising.
know, like here we are, yay! It's like I like that kind of whiskey, but this is not that kind of whiskey.
It's not, but this nose now does smell more like Laphroaig to me. I don't know why it would smell more.
Which
Go
one
back
are
to
you
the Select
drinking?
now. Does the Select even smell like Laphroaig?
Well, I'm drinking them and nosing them.
Well, it's the only way to go, I guess. But
But there's the sweetness, and it's like it's almost like. Do you remember the pears the canned pears that your mother might make? You know, where they're like a super sweet, syrupy, like not gross, like really, yeah, like it. I love that.
just the sugary liquid, thick liquid.
Yeah, you know, it's just gonna taste good.
Yeah, you can eat them with some ice cream or just on their own.
Ice cream and chocolate sauce.
Oh, that's see that right there is good. Look, if you look at the legs,
Uh huh.
I would say they're almost the same.
Well, I think there's your 40%, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So which one are you gravitating to more now that you're double fisting?
Let me just go back to the Select a sec. Yeah, probably still the Select because at the end of the day, it's down and I'm still tasting that peat.
Yeah. No, you're right. This is good. This is strong.
Yeah,
this
it's
has
not-
and it's
It's
fun
strong, but
to,
it's not strong.
these work really well together. Let's face it. Each kind of complements the other.
It's a tough call when they're
Yeah.
sitting side by side.
Well, and like I say, let them be together on your mouth. You know, don't worry about being, you know what I mean? We can bring them together here. What if we dump them into one another?
Make our own little Laphroaig
We're
blend.
sitting here and like ding, ding, ding.
I'd hate to do that though.
Well, I would do it.
Do you think we get laughed at?
I don't know. I don't know. I think we're coming close enough when you just put it in your mouth, like one after the other,
Yeah.
that they kind of build on one another. They're kind of like waves that pick up on one another's energy and come up with something a little bit different. So I'm good with what we're doing without actually pouring one liquid into the other. That being said, it definitely makes your mind think you could do it. And these are whiskeys that would work well together, like because they have a lot of the base characters. You know, like the characteristics of Laphroaig are unique to each. They have an 80 or a 40% alcohol by volume. You could probably blend these whiskeys. I don't know though, and we would be laughed at for assuming you could. You would need somebody here that actually knows something about that to interject.
Yeah.
This is when you need to like have a special phone call. It's like we're gonna call up Rob and Aberfeldy. He's gonna handle this one for us. Aberfeldy being only because I just came across somebody on Instagram that put up the most incredible photos, and he happened to be
Of
from
Aberfeldy?
From
Oh,
Aberfeldy.
right.
This is an
Okay.
actual town, like
Right,
1,200
right.
people type
Yeah.
thing.
Does he
so-
like Aberfeldy?
I didn't ask him.
Okay.
I was a little hesitant.
You don't need to. Just
He didn't
because
have
he's
any
from
pictures
there.
of Aberfeldy.
It's not his
up.
fault he lives there.
He took the nicest pictures.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered. And
Yeah,
he
it
took
does.
them out in the natural Scottish Highland settings, and they were very effective. Like, he clearly knew where the sun was hitting on certain afternoons, and he was able to shoot whiskeys in perfect light. Like, he did a good job. Like,
What type of whiskeys did he shoot?
he shot cool whiskeys, single malts, like really nice ones.
Not
And
just Aberfeldy.
not any Aberfeldies.
So he didn't take any Aberfeldies. That's cool.
You know, honestly, I can't recall.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But
Doesn't
I
matter.
would say that
It doesn't really. I'm just trying to take a jab
would
at
s-
Aberfeldy
yeah, yeah, yeah,
just because
yeah.
we pushed that one off.
Well,
we have it ready to go.
True, we
and
do.
we're like, oh, let's
I
not
know,
do it
gets
next.
bounced
We don't
around.
want to do that one
But
next.
that's the Aberfeldy 12. And there are other expressions. And I've heard some people that really, like, they go out of their ways to promote Aberfeldy. And certainly the price jump from a 12 to like a 16 is huge.
Yeah.
You can add about $40, like $10 per year.
It's true, but we have had Aberfeldy before, and it's just not been very exciting. Anyhow, let's get on to the next segment.
Jonathan, isn't the final segment before we do our lead-ins for a fortnight from now? Mm-hmm. It's usually a quote of the night, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Quote of the night.
Well, Gordy, I've got one picked out for us. I don't know if it's going to be as mind-blowing as... what? Have I lost it already? Here we go.
Here it is.
Did you... okay, so quote of the night. Here we go. Now, this one does not have anybody attributed to the...
We don't know who the author
Yeah,
is.
this is unknown.
We'll continue our research and maybe we can get this up for you.
Oh, hold on. I'm wrong.
This one does. have an author.
It does. I'm sorry. It
Oh.
says it's another paragraph. We've horribly labeled it. The other paragraph underneath. So it's actually from Robin Lang,
Oh.
from his song Brook Laddick,
Oh.
or Brook Laddie.
Brooke Laddie.
Brook Laddie. It's celebrate. Okay, I should probably read the quote first, and then we'll go into
You
why
gonna
he
read the
did
whole
it.
deal?
It's not very long.
Okay.
Here we go. When standing on the island of distilleries, you can almost see the coast of heaven.
Heaven.
Robert Lang.
Robert Lang.
From his song Brook Laddie, celebrating the rebirth of the distillery.
Ah,
Robin is known as
the Bard.
the Whiskey Bard.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
That's,
cool.
that's,
So
that
he
was
did
the
a
whole
song.
quote.
We should add the song to this. We gotta actually find the song and drop it into.
I
this.
wonder if he
if we
just...
can put this into the actual podcast.
It
when
probably
you,
is around.
Yeah.
I
Robert
like that.
Lang.
The Whiskey Bard.
The Whiskey
that's like his.
Bard.
That's his deal. He just
Well,
does whiskey.
So the Brook Laddie distillery was mothballed. So it had a history. So 1881 it was created. To this day it runs on much of the old equipment, including a whole band system of these really intricate sort of industrial revolution type like machines that are serviced by people, et cetera, et cetera. Really interesting place. The point being is that in the 80s, it went on hard times. I think it was sold
It was. I read up on that too. It had been mothballed twice.
twice.
Way
and in
back.
fact, I think in the Michael Jackson book that we read last week, if you look up Brook Laddie, it is listed as an inactive
Yeah, you mentioned that.
distillery. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is actually really interesting. So I guess what ended up happening, it got bought by like Bacardi, and then it got bought by another big outfit. And eventually, what caused it to kind of bring it back to life was two privateers, two individual capitalists who came together and bought the place, kept the old guy that's been around forever, running the distillery, and basically brought this thing back to life, and now are doing some really interesting and creative and expressive things with their whiskey. you
Yeah,
know.
that's
And we
what I
had
heard.
at them last week because their teal bottle was obnoxious. I mean,
Well, it was.
It was
It
just
was
gimmicky.
obnoxious.
Unfortunately,
A little too much.
well, I think they could have saved their asses had they just had a proper bottle inside the teal outside, because the cylinder is actually quite nice.
Well, what is even if it was like smoked glass, like you know how they have like a dusted glass, like that would have been better too.
Much better. And you
Yeah.
could still use, like, I could imagine that one being sort of like lots of, because the whiskey color was nice. It was sort of hay colored and,
Yeah, and
light.
it noted that it was not colored.
That's right.
Which I'm
And-
pretty sure the Laphroaigs are.
It could be, yeah. And then if you just do like a nice white and silver sort of like label with just splash of
Or even
teal.
go the opposite. How about like you see how we're looking at the cylinder right now. We've got it up on the exterior bar.
Yeah.
And if they had gone opposite, where it was like white or clear, and then the lettering was in that color.
Right, just
You
a
know?
splash.
Yeah,
just
just a splash.
Just a little
Exactly.
toucher. Like
Yeah.
just like, hey, like we're still cool with this,
Yeah.
but we're not going to force it on you again.
And here's what we look like.
Yes. That, they should have us on as consultants. They should be paying us to do this stuff for them.
Just for their marketing.
I think so.
But what are we going to do about their whiskey?
Well, we've only tried one.
I know.
So why don't we get a little
Why
deeper
don't
into...
I just lighten up on them a little bit?
Why don't we... Because I have a feeling they're going to have some incredible things.
Well, the
and they have the
Octomore-
Octomore lines.
That
So like,
is something
so
that-
I
yeah.
mean, we've got... it's out there.
Yeah.
You just got... And this is why I think they're cool.
They have the ability to be
Yeah,
cool.
the classic laddie.
Well, I
was
had
sort
that
of a-
story. I don't know why we're talking about Brook Laddie now, but when I went
because
to...
because there was a song of Brook Laddie from the Quote of
right.
the Night. So this
we
is
haven't
the
even talked
Isle-
about the quote of the night,
Well,
but
they-
I want to
well,
go in for that little
okay.
story. We went there, and it was totally closed.
You went there personally.
We went to the Brook Laddie
Shut
distillery.
down.
What's that?
Mothballed. There was a...
No. It had just opened.
Oh.
It had just opened. And wait, is that even... Yes, it had just opened. Nobody was there. Totally closed. We didn't know. I guess we probably should have checked the hours of operation, but we didn't. But we went down there, and one guy was working there, and he taught me more about whiskey, or at least I remember that experience a lot. Like he
Maybe
he
you
opened
talked
up
to
the
the
door.
guy.
I don't know.
Maybe
it was.
what did he look like?
I don't know. I mean,
What was he wearing?
This is a while ago, right? Like a decade ago. I don't know what he was wearing. He was probably wearing a turtleneck sweater, right? And I know he had a beard.
Well, this guy had a beard.
Well,
Man,
I mean,
should
anybody
show
can
you
get a
images.
beard except
Wouldn't
me.
that be something if you were actually talking to the master distiller?
Would be cool.
Because this guy, when I saw him, he looked like he was running.
How old was he? When was this picture taken? Like,
So I saw him interviewed probably in the last couple of years, and I would say at that point in time, he looked like he was in his early 60s.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been about right. I would have
See,
said this guy was.
So
in
he
his
had a beard,
about
and
50.
what was cool about him is he was wearing one of those things that like a guy working on the docks would wear. Like it was like
Yeah.
it was quite bright colored. It was like a bit of a like an X on the back with like orange, and the thing was like a green, vibrant green looking jacket. So it was like, like this is a working area,
Yeah.
And this guy, he had his office looked like it was from. Looked like a tugboat office, like the offices my mom used to work in, where there was like teacups and like, there was a computer, but it was sort of buried a bit, and there was like
Right.
lots of stuff everywhere that looked like it was important for the operations, but had nothing to do with impressing a visitor. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is an operational coffee drinking office
Okay.
that people probably curse in, And anyway, wouldn't it be something if you actually
It would have been
spoke
cool.
to him?
Well, he was the nicest guy.
I bet.
He goes, I know we're closed. Why don't you just come in? And he went into the tasting room, and he let us try at least 6 or 7 different ones they had
Different
there.
Brook Laddies?
And I remember he was saying when they had been closed down, so when they had been mothballed, they still kept some of the casks going,
Right, of
So
course,
they continued on just in case. So they had all these age statement ones, or at least it seemed they had a lot of those, because I don't think the NAS was all that big then. But
No.
anyway.
Right. But they would have the ability to create things with what they had.
Yeah,
Is the
yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
Yeah, they can put some things together.
But he was the guy who he gave us the white. It was the just distilled Brook Laddie, and obviously it had one with lots of peat, because we just rubbed it in your hands, and it was like that hand sandy, and it just disappears, and he just said draw your hands over your face and smell your hands, and it just reeked like peat, and it reeked like peat for a couple days. So he said you can't drink that stuff, of course, right? Because that's super strong.
Yeah.
But anyway, he gave us this it was great.
Well-
Like, he gave us a little tour, and ended up buying like a special 15-year-old from
Brook
him.
Laddie?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I probably brought that.
Probably,
Back.
yeah.
You've had that, but I don't know. I don't remember it being.
Well, it didn't
wasn't
stand out. It wasn't,
noteworthy.
it wasn't one of the great whiskeys of
But
all time.
I liked it just because it was special. Anyhow, so would you like to get back to the quote? Should we talk about that at all?
we did.
We did expand on the quote, though. Yeah.
Yes, we have. Now, I mean, okay. So what I recall from the quote was that as you're on the Isle of Whiskies,
Yeah, the Isle of Whiskies.
you
and what do
can
you think
see
he
the
means by
edge of
that?
heaven.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. When standing on the island of distilleries,
Right.
you can almost see the coast of heaven.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the island of distilleries.
So what he's
That
talking about
means,
there?
Obviously, he's just
Isla.
talking about Scotland. Or
He's
he
talking
could be
about
talking
Ireland.
about Scotland too. But,
This is Brook Laddie reopening, so he's talking about Isla,
oh, that's true.
right? What this guy is really trying to say, I believe, is that Islay is the superior whiskey island, and that as you go from distillery to distillery and you take in the land and you take in the people and you see what's being produced on this one small island, and just the level of quality and superiority of taste and flavor, that he's suggesting that you're stepping as close to, pure whiskey heaven as possible. The Islay in its totality, everything from Kalila to Lagavulin to Laphroaig to, just the whole gambit, as they all contribute. Now with Kilchoman, there's extras. You get these, we haven't tried a few of them too. We're still shy of going around the island, but definitely as a group, they are head and shoulders above anything else.
Yeah.
In the world, it doesn't matter, throw in Japan, mind you, we don't have any experience there, but as far as we know whiskey.
Yeah. No,
and as far as we've been taught by masters who know whiskey, this is the whiskey.
Yeah.
Islay. So I like the quote, and it makes me, and I'm glad we went off on Brook Laddie, and the fact that a place like that could have closed and then reopened and now is doing what it's doing, whether you like the classic Laddie or not. It certainly is just breathing life back into the entire market and industry. And we're the beneficiaries of that ultimately, although we pay for it. We certainly have to pay for these whiskeys, but not to start a new
nice
thread
if we
here.
didn't have to.
Yeah, nice. Sure, it would be. So that being said, I think we have a Macallan on the horizon.
Macallan 12.
Is that right?
That's up. And you said it had a sort of a subtext to the 12.
Yeah, something about a double cask or something.
Double cask, okay.
Yeah, so it could be 2 different types of wood or something. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I look forward to Macallan. I honestly I think Macallan's always been a good one, but I know I have a sentimental streak for Macallan as well. But I've always enjoyed them, that's for sure.
Well, they're not horrible. It's not.
No,
it's
some
not one
of
of
them
those
are
scotches.
incredible.
Yeah, I know horrible is harsh, but you know how I tend to not like certain scotches. I'm really biased towards them, but that one was never in the super bad books.
No, there was always a delicious whiskey.
There was something there.
Yeah,
they were
for
doing
sure.
something, and they were a little different, a little classier than some of the other ones I found.
Well, so Jonathan, every now and then some people actually listen to what we do. What do you have to say to them?
I'm thankful for it. I just hope that what we're putting out is entertaining.
Yeah, I hope we don't bore them.
If it's boring, that's cool too.
Let us know.
Let us know
Let
that
us
too.
know. We'll try and
Yeah.
we'll try and spice it up. We can do some more singing.
That's right. We have a few with songs.
If you ever need us to sing, we'll do that too.
Yeah, and it's just cool, and appreciate it. Like you said, the feedback is always good. It helps
I like
us
it.
To,
It helps guide
really
us along,
help.
doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that know a lot more about this than we do. We just happen to be doing it.
We are not claiming to know the most.
No,
that's
we
for
certainly
sure.
are.
Especially me.
We just enjoy it.
Yeah,
we just enjoy
I have
it.
my opinions, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's why it's fun. You can talk to somebody about Scotch. You can disagree, but you can kind of, if you're really solid on your point, you can argue it, and everybody likes that. You can,
Generally, it influences somebody in a new direction that's probably good. Increases perspective. Let's put it that way.
I think so.
Yeah, and that's important.
Because there's so much to talk about, really. There's a lot in there that you can kind of dissect and get into, and it's great. And that's why you can stop and talk to guys in the liquor, at least the Scotch aisle there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you can,
I sometimes
those
hang out there if I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
I'll just sort of I got 10 minutes to kill. I'll just sort of hang around the single malt aisle and see if anyone wants to talk.
Yeah, or if somebody's in trouble.
I think that's my calling.
When they're
it's my calling in life.
And you
it's
see,
I can step in and really sort this out for this guy.
not that one.
No. What? Hey. I noticed you picked up the what? No.
Look, this one's cheaper
18?
and better.
Yeah. You can get a bottle of Lagavulin 16 for less than that. Mm-hmm. I can't let you walk out of here with that unless you really know what you're doing.
I know. I know that I feel bad too because totally just my opinion.
Totally.
But I do feel like I'm saving them a little bit.
I think it's important.
You're helping their walk.
Just trying to influence the world in positive ways,
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right.
Great show.
Yeah.
Well,
it was fun
tonight.
It was fun. Great night too.
Summertime is the best.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it is.
I know. I'm going to miss being up here when we go back down in the fall. But we're up here now, so let's not...
Yeah. No.
Let's just enjoy it.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
See you in a fortnight.
In a fortnight.
Wee
Dram.
Woo! So, moment. Wow, what the heck?
I don't know. I think I'm holding it. Let's
Two,
try it.
yeah, some more. Yeah. You just gotta hold, you can't hold the glass, you hold the stem. And then you get a rocking sound. It's like Excalibur. Zing!